I hope you had a great trading week last week. I mean, we had a few assets that we looked into last week, and those assets did well. So let me just try to see if I can get the. All right. So yeah, we looked at Euro CHF, Euro JPY, then Nasdaq, and all the asset actually. Guys, please don't forget when you're joining, mute your mics so we don't clash a little bit. So we had the Nasdaq, we had the fall on the last Nasdaq, we had the Euro JPY fall, Euro CHF also fall. So all the trades did well last week, and I'm actually very glad, for calling that. I think someone mentioned Nasdaq, and it was actually a very good one. It was a good call to look into. Yeah, that being said, this week I haven't done any analysis. I'm gonna do it with you guys, and I know that the time of the webinar seems a little bit different at the moment because UK we have daylight saving, and our time has gone back an hour. So when it's 6 my time, it's kind of like I'm 1 hour behind, and you guys will be 1 hour ahead of me. So if we were at 6 before, now you're 7 and I'm still at 6, so our time is different right now, and it gets dark quicker. So apologies for the time switch. I don't want to just change the time of the webinar to 5 my time and then keep it the same. I want to keep it consistently throughout. That being said, let's do some analysis today. So is there anything anyone wants me to look into before we start? Is there anything anyone wants me to look into? Is there specific assets I should look into, or should I just do a swing through as I normally do every week? And also I think this is something I don't think I've mentioned. There is a way to use the probability tool that I think a lot of people are not looking at it yet. And I spoke about it briefly last week. Let's say this was the only tool you have access to. Let's say this was the only tool you have access to, the probability tool, right? Now, if you have access to the probability tool and you don't even look at the chart, right? You don't look at the chart. There's nothing you do, concerning the charts. All you do is know this. The best way, what do you think the best way of trading would be? I mean, if you just look at this, right, it gives you the date, it gives you the percentage of going up, percentage of going down. Now, if I know that I'm only going to target days that are 80% or 70% and above, I know in this specific asset, on this day, I have 73%, 80%. I don't need to trade any other days here because it's not up to 70, 80. Then I move on and then I look for another 70, see 73% there. I can trade that. And I can trade any 70, 80% that I find, 73% there, 73% here. If I accumulate that in a specific month, not just on one asset, but let's say in the entire assets are here, I think we have 30 right here listed right here, right? Out of the entire 30 assets that we have here, you only pick the 73 and the 70 and above percent. You have in every 10 trades that you take, you have a 70% chance of winning minimum. So if you have a 70% chance winning the minimum, that means at the start of the candle, you can actually open your position and just set a stop loss at a specific figure. Over time, you have to practice which stop loss work best for you. But anything above 50 pips should be okay. And just let the trade ride. And what you will notice is even without using indicators, without doing price action, without doing anything at all, only just coming in at specific 70% days, buying the asset or shorting the asset at that specific time period, you have a 70% chance of winning. The only thing else you have to worry about is your money management. Literally, Your money management is only thing you have to worry about. So to me personally, right, this tool right here, this probability tool right here, is one of the most powerful tools that I've actually ever put on this website. It's not even the seasonality, it's not the COT, it's not the indicators, it's not with that, it's this. If you have a good money management strategy and you know exactly how to use this tool and not get greedy, you'll be perfectly fine. Now, if it was the days of binary options, I don't know if you guys knew about binary options, but it's banned in Europe right now. If it was the day of binary options, if you had a 70% chance of win on a specific trade, right? If you have 10 trades and you know you're going to win 7 out of the 10 trades, you're going to have a lot more money by the end of the first year than anybody that's put their money in any investments. Because all you just need to do is trade at those specific dates and time. Okay, so this tool right here, it's a very, very important tool. So don't underestimate it. But it works a lot better if you have it in combination with your seasonality and then mix it with the COT report. It gives you a longer time trade. But if you just want to be for a short-term trade, you know, not scalping, you know, since it's a daily chart, it's not like you're scalping for 10, 20 pips. This tool is the best tool for you. If you just want to go in every day, close your trade every day, this is the tool. If you want to go in for the long term, along the period, then seasonality is the tool mixed with COT and then your probability, right? So I have the short-term tool and I have the long-term tool for you guys. Now let's go to what you want me to look at. I should look at gold and then Euro GBP, right? Okay, I just told you guys a hack for this, by the way. I hope you guys understand how deep this is. Now let's look at gold. And then we'll go to Euro GBP. Then I'll do a full scan of the stuff. Also, let me know if you want me to have specific days, if you want me to segment the probability tool into specific dates, right? If you want me to segment it into specific dates that, okay, you can only trade at this date and at this date. So I can create a membership specifically just for the probability tool alone for those people that just like to trade on a specific date. Okay. So let me know and I would also get that created for you if it's something you need. Right. So let's look at gold. So today is the 14th of November. So from the bat, gold, we have a dip coming in gold. It's not sweet enough though. I don't like this dip. It's not really sweet enough. What I can do is, it looks a bit very funny, but let me just check COT, make sure that no, it's on track. If COT shows there's a dip, then we might actually expect a dip in gold. Just quickly load back the probability tool as well. Let's see what we have. All right. Let's wait for that to load. COT seems to be in place. From the COT report, what I can tell is, all right, they're taking away positions from their short side, and also they're taking away positions from their long side. So there isn't any new positions being added. I mean, it looks confusing. That's why, even looking at the seasonality, you know, it's not a real ideal because it looks like a small dip, but I want to go in somewhere around here. Somewhere around here is more doable for me here, where I have a, you know, correlation, and then I have the dip to the end of the year. So right here, it's much more risky than, you know, than I would like it to be personally. But we can check on the 14th on the probability. I mean, so it's telling me buy. So it's giving me a 71% chance of a buy, 71% chance of a buy, right? That's what this is given. So personally, I wouldn't trade this for the long term. I wouldn't even touch it. We can look at it on the chart. See, it's pointing up, and what I can see is this candle is an inside bar candle, and both actually almost seems like an inside bar candle. So ideally, we could see price, and also price has got to resistance right here. This entire section, it's a resistance section right there. So I mean, maybe price might push up to this zone and reject somewhere around between here and here. Just looking at the technicals alone. Right. If we look at the technicals alone, it's trying to go for a double top, but no, kind of looking for resistance within that green zone. Okay. It's just below it right here. Personally, I won't touch it. So it's right here. It's giving the resistance somewhere around here. I'm expecting maybe somewhere within here, this green zone. So for me, gold looks too risky to touch when you want to go for the long term. I mean, short term, when it does fall under what I just spoke about, which is a 71%, 70% on above. So if it's 71%, for example, in every 10 trades you take, you're ideally going to win 7. So it's more like it's probability. It sounds like gambling, but it's probability. So for the short term, yeah, you can give it a go. For the long term, it's not sustainable. But I would not let me delete these ones. This one's done. We got through all of this last week, so this was good trade. So, but I won't put it down for you guys right here. So for me personally, gold is not green light this week. So let's check Euro GBP, right? So in regards to Euro GBP, what we first want to check is the Euro COT and then the GBP COT. Let's see both. If we see a good amount of buy or sell in both, we will be good. So from the Euro, we see they're going short, right? GBP doesn't seem to want to load. Wait for that to load. So Euro's going short. They also have some long position there, but ultimately short seems to be the outlook for Euro. And if I take out the non-commercials and non-reportable, yeah, Euro might dip. So if we see a strength, yeah, GBP seems to be going long on the COT report actually from the switch. But what I want to see ideally is the seasonality, and then we'll check the probability as well. Let me know if there's any other thing you want me to check before I actually go through my own analysis. Right. So Euro, yeah. So 14th. Yeah, we're right here. So Euro might actually fall from tomorrow. I mean, this is literally the last bit. Trying to squeeze out the last bit from the Euro drop. And if you look at Euro anyway, I think I was looking at Euro AUD earlier, but let's look at Euro GBP. You can see Euro actually pulled back this time around, but it started falling. It's already started falling from here, pulled back, then the fall is continuing. So most likely what we're going to see is price probably pull back to somewhere around this section right here. And then price hit it and then come all the way back down. But before we conclude on that, let me just see. So 15 might be good. Yeah. Let's see what Euro GBP is saying. Let's see, Euro GBP. So let's look for the 15th. If we can see that, that down, this is where the challenge comes in. Even though the COT report looks good, the seasonality looks good, I don't like this. This buy, sell, and the percentage is not even high anyway. So personally, Just by looking at this alone, I won't even touch it. No, I won't touch it. Euro GBP. I could touch any maybe another euro assets that look, you know, that look the part, that look good for that part. I can do that, but Euro GBP would not be something that I will touch. Right. Let's see GBP. Maybe we can find. Yeah. And GBP seems to be losing strength. The strength, the alignment in GBP comes in on the 24th, which is 10 days from now. So 2 weeks from now. I mean, a week from now. This is a new week. So a week from now would be when to start looking at GBP. So in regards to Euro GBP, even though we can't touch Euro GBP, what we can do in response to that is we can check other Euro assets, for example. So if we do Euro, let me close this, close that. We could check Euro CHF, Euro JPY, Euro USD, Euro CAD, Euro AUD, Euro NZD. I was looking at Euro AUD just earlier, I think. Yeah. Seems to be falling since JPY. Yeah. So yeah, Euro's losing strength around this region anyway. So if we see a good alignment on the probability scale with those assets, then we'll go for it. All right, so I'll do USD CAD, then Nasdaq, then Bitcoin. Then I'm gonna do a quick run over the normal assets that I would do. I try to see how much I can do in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna move slightly quicker now because of time. I always like to keep this thing 40 minutes. It could go really beyond time. So on the 15th, Euro CHF is actually giving us a buy power, so we let that go. We're looking for anything making the euro weak. Euro looks weak, we go for it. If it looks strong, we let it go. So Euro JPY looks strong, we let it go. Euro USD. Right. Euro USD looks weak, then we have that strong, then weak. We could take this, it will probably be on a medium scale. You know, medium scale risk, Euro USD. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, this damn thing's already falling. It's already, you know, done quite a bit. 200 and some pips. This is very risky because the main reason I call this risky is because look, there's a support region right here. So price is most likely going to hit that, circle back to this red zone before dropping further. And I personally don't want to risk this because of the outlook of it. It's a good trade to go for, but based on the price action, if price already moved way beyond where I expected to, I don't jump in at the middle. I'd rather catch it somewhere here or somewhere here than catch it somewhere here. So for that reason, Euro JPY, I'm going to let it slide. Even though it might win, I'll just let it slide. Euro USD, I'll just let that slide. So let's check Euro CAD. I'm finally looking for something. So it looks strong all the way around here for 4 days straight. So I'm going to touch that Euro AUD. So it loses strength for 2 days, then buy, then so we might actually be able to squeeze some. Yeah, Euro AUD. So what I'll kind of do is, before I forget, let me check EMA. Right. No, I don't want to forget Williams, right? Williams are very good tools that I use, you know, so Williams spread. I want to be very, very careful before I jump into a trade if I don't have Williams spread in play. So what I can see is Euro AUD might be a good one to go for. Before I select it though, my last selection, what I want to do instead is I want to look at Euro one more time on the seasonality scale and see if it's already done the move in the past. If Euro AUD is following that move in the past, or if it's followed it to some extent. If it hasn't, I'll be very careful. So on the 4th, I want to see Euro drop. The drop didn't happen on the 4th. It should happen somewhere around here, but then it happened later on the 10th. So let me see where the 10 is. And 9. Yeah, so right here that it happened, I'm not really cool with that. I'm not really cool with that where it happened right here. Main reason being because it doesn't seem to have followed the seasonality on the euro scale. So if I check AUD, let me check the AUD map and see, does it follow it on the AUD scale? If it does follow it on the AUD scale, then we might be good to go. If it doesn't, it's going to be a heavy, high risk trade, you know, to go into. So, explains why AUD was meant to lose strength anyway. So around the 5th, AUD was meant to lose strength, 6th or 6th, 5th. So somewhere around this region. I mean, on the 4th right here, it shows going to lose strength in 5 years. On the 15 years, it lost strength on the 6th, and on the 32 years, it lost strength on the 6th. So that explains, somewhat explains why it hasn't actually followed that. You know, so euro tends to gain strength here. See, things like this is slightly challenging because I don't want to just follow the move, but for, you know, for experiment's sake, I'm just going to say euro AUD. I'm going to call it super high risk. Now, this is not for you guys to trade. I'm just going to go back to this and look at, I'm going to look at this later, but this is not for you guys to trade. Ideally, you want to trade something that looks smooth and, you know, it's going to go your way. If it's something that looks a little bit choppy, you want to try as much as possible and stay away from it. Okay, so let's move to USD CAD. So let's see what USD is saying. Right, let's see what USD is saying. Let's see what CAD is saying regards to COT. I haven't checked Euro NZD as well. I'm just going to quickly run through Euro NZD. Yeah, Euro NZD doesn't really look good, so I'm just going to let that go. That was the final one anyway. So trying to look at the CAD and the USD. So whatever the USD shows and whatever the CAD shows, if they're buying or if they're selling, that would determine what my analysis is going to be. So from USD, I see that it's not, you know, there's no decision right there. And from CAD, there's also no decisions right there. So personally, for me, for those two indecisions right there, what you want to do ideally is stay away from the chart, you know. But you know, yeah, you want to stay away. We're right here right now, right? It only gives, the 15 years only gives about 1 to 2 days trade. 40 years gives a little bit more, 5 years gives a little bit more than that. But ideally, you want to stay away from this. You want to come back to this around 21st. 21st to be your best time to come to this asset, USD assets, to you know, to short or do anything you want with it. So with the USD CAD, those two assets doesn't really look good. So let's check Nasdaq, then let's check Bitcoin. Now, with the thing with this Nasdaq and Bitcoin is this. I've said this quite a few times, and I just want to really emphasize on it. We do not have probability data. We do not have the COT data. We have COT data on Bitcoin actually, but we do not have on Nasdaq. So what we're trading right here is a very risky one. You know, I like to say how it is, so you know, you don't get otherwise a different perspective towards it. It's a very risky one, but it does come with high rewards. I mean, we traded it last week and it was successful, and we've traded it before in the past and it's successful. So I just always like to state it so you know what you're getting into. Now for Bitcoin, the commercials are not buying, neither are they selling. They're just, you know, somewhere in between. But the non-commercials, these guys are always still long, you know. But overall, what you can see is these guys' overall positions, they're short. And just last week, on the, no, not even last week, it's one of, let me see, on the second, when was the second? Yeah, so it's about 2 weeks ago, until the new report comes out anyway. The new report isn't out yet. So about 2 weeks ago, you know, these guys, the position is short. The overall position is short, while some have theirs in long. So we haven't seen any drastic change. If we see any drastic change in, you know, in the positions, then what we can do is assume that Bitcoin is either going to go up or down. This report right here is definitely necessary for Bitcoin. So let's check Nasdaq. 11th. Right. So we are on the 14th right now. Your best bet for Nasdaq will be to short from the 17th. Right. 17th to 19th, and then wait out after 19 and 20. So let me see, when is 17th? So on Wednesday will be the time to short Nasdaq again. I mean, we just came out of a short anyway. And, you know, I told you guys, if you were in the chat, the Telegram chat room, I told you guys to exit, you know, close your positions on the asset. So what you want to do right now is look, so what we did was we shorted this asset on the 8th, I think. Yeah, we shorted on the 8th, and I remember telling you guys on Thursday to exit, right? So if you had shorted on the 8th with that, let's say you exited even right here on the close of that day, shorted when you started off, you'll have taken about 2,725 pips off this market specifically before this move happened. But what we can emphasize is it says Wednesday right now from the seasonality, you know, we're going down, we're selling. And then on the 20th, which I think will be next week, we're buying. So that's the long move that you want to actually go for. So probably on the 22nd, we're going to buy on the 22nd. So somewhere around here, we're going to buy again. So, but for now, you know, looking at this, there's a series of places that you can expect price to get to on Nasdaq before, you know, you want to short this. So now price is currently right here. Price is most likely going to do a double top. You know, double top, or maybe come somewhere around here and we're going to short it. Ideally, you want to short it and take a profit at 200 at 20 EMA on the daily chart. So price is most likely going to come up here somewhere here, or your double top. So ideally what I'll do is I'll wait when price gets here. I'll wait to see if there's a rejection. If there's sort of a rejection and you use your entry indicators and your entry indicator shows you to go down, then you short it. When you short it, you want to exit right here. Right around here is where you want to exit maximum, you know. So that trade will be held for, I think, 2 days. And in 2 days, it should ideally do that long fall. Yes, on the 19th. So you go in on Wednesday, you exit on Friday. So Nasdaq, short till Friday. Right now, I'm gonna call this high risk. The main reason I call it high risk, you guys already know, we do not have probability data or COT to back this up, right? So with this one, we can short this. This, guys, don't trade this. This is just for me personally. You know, a matter of fact, I'm going to delete that so you guys don't get the idea. You know, it's something that I can take a risk on because of the way I'm set up anyway. But with this, you know, you can still trade this. This is still okay to trade. So now let's look at Bitcoin. And the next week after, we're going to trade this back up. So you want to, if you can trade it down, if you're scared of it, you can wait it out. And then next week we buy it up. So you can hold that for a longer period of time, right? So let's go for Bitcoin now. See what we have on Bitcoin. Right. So Bitcoin is still in a struggling state right now. You know, it's made this new high that we expected to make anyway. So let me see if I can get it up here. Okay. All right. So Bitcoin right now is right here, right? So we've expected this to happen anyway. So what we're gonna see is Bitcoin has set a new high as expected, and price is literally right here. And if we look at this right now, Bitcoin is around this state right here. So it's most likely going to pull back up until the 23rd, right? So 23rd up until, whoa, that's quite a long time. So we're right here right now, 14. So you want to probably short Bitcoin on the 16th up until 23rd. So 16th, which is on Tuesday, short it to 23rd, about a week. So in that case, Bitcoin is most likely going to fall from around this region and probably to the 50 EMA, try to clear some people out before it goes back long, right? So from the 23rd will be the next time to enter into your Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has set the new high that is meant to set. That's already done. Now it's most likely going to fall to the 23rd and then, go long. So what we're going to do with the Bitcoin is short. That in front of that coin. Short. So you're gonna short that on the 23rd till we're gonna short that till 23rd, then we go long. So you short that from around the 16th, right? 16th, 17th will be your ideal time. So between the 16th and 17th, you short that till 23rd and then go long. Funny enough, I actually have to close some of my trade on this asset now. I need to go on Binance and close that. So we're gonna short that for a little while. Take your profit around 50 EMA. It's been battling with the 20. You can see it's 20's been keeping it up for a while. So it's gonna eventually breach that 20, right? And then come to around the 50. So if I'm correct, we have 50,000 pips to collect on that, on that fall. And then if that fall, once that fall is concluded, we're gonna buy again. And hopefully this time around, Bitcoin sets even a new high, right? And the scene with the metaverse and all of that stuff is coming up. So crypto in itself is gonna be, moving heavy. And there are other companies, there's some new companies, brownie companies that you guys might want to pay attention to, which are the companies producing the graphics card for what's it called, for the metaverse. So the companies producing the graphics card for the metaverse, those companies are going to really go high. Their stocks are going to skyrocket. They're not really listed on the website, so you guys might want to do independent research on that one, the companies that produces the graphics card for them, and the companies that are going to produce the hardware for the metaverse as well. Those companies definitely would gain a whole lot of money. I mean, they're getting money injected into them, and some of the coins and the tokens which will be used on the metaverse are also some of the ones you want to look into. Yeah, Mana is a great one to actually look into. Yeah, Mana is good to look into. I mean, those are those coins would definitely be one to buy. I mean, I do have a list of them on my other phone somewhere, of those assets to look into, those coins. But those coins will be, they're gonna grow. I mean, I saw one which is still about 60 pences. So it's still quite young. So if you can grab a hold of a few of those, maybe like 100, okay, that's mad. You made 300% on SAN already. That's beautiful, So that's beautiful. So see, that's a proof, guys. Like, those things are gonna go. They're gonna go insane. They're literally gonna go insane. So you have to pay attention to them and capitalize on them, because metaverse could be a game changer. I mean, in reality, it will be a game changer. It's a different way that we're going to approach the internet, right? So the internet is not going to be the same ever again. So it's going to be something new. But you don't just want to experience that feeling of having that, in play. You also want to have experience the funds that come with it, the money that you gain from it, the money to regain. You going into the metaverse or playing with it, you're making someone else rich. So why not just make some money from it, while also making someone else rich? So that would be my suggestions for it. I mean, this is all we have time for. This is only 2 trades I can look at currently from the list that you suggested that we should look into. So I personally would have loved to look at more assets, but time cannot permit that right now. But these 2 trades are something that you can look into. You know how I trade anyway. I don't trade every single day. I only trade when it's necessary for me to trade. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also offer a 30% discount on memberships. I announced that on Telegram earlier today. So there'll be a 30% membership discount that will be there. So for people that haven't been able, that have been on the sidelines, being able to, get the membership. You can use that now. We already had a price reduction before. Now I'm giving an extra 30% for people to also capitalize on that. So as I said, earlier, this tool right here, probability tool, don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it. God bless you too, brother. Don't underestimate it. This tool right here could change your life. If you're the type of person that you don't have time to do analysis on the chart, you don't have time to, start packing a whole indicator, start studying a lot of stuff, all you need is a good money management strategy. And that's even simple. I can literally break down an example of a money management strategy to you. If you have 70% chance of a win, 70% win rate, now you know that you're going to win 7 trades and 3 losses, right? So if you have 7 wins and 3 losses, it's so simple. If you have these wins and you have that losses, there's no way that you will not make money from the market. If you go in your first trade 0.10, and let's say you lose that, instead of you doubling the lot, you don't need to double the lot. Just keep it at 0.10. Just keep every single thing at 0.10, literally. Because what you're going to do is eventually, if you lose 3 trades back to back, that's you've lost 0.30. But in totality, you won 0.70. Now, if the average pips loss is, let's say, 20 pips times 3, 60 pips, and even if your average pips won is just 10 pips, which is ridiculous, by the way, I'm just literally being very, 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 very minimalistic. If that's 10 pips, so that's 70 pips win. Simple. But let's say even if your average trade win, it's not even what's it called? It's not 10 pips. Let's say that's 15 pips. If it's 15 pips, that's 105. If I'm not mistaken, my math is right. It should be 105 pips. So 105 pips win versus 60 pips loss. You're still in the win. Okay. So if you follow the rules, the way they're laid down on the probability, and you don't get greedy, you're well enough to make a lot of money in the market without even doing any analysis. All you just need to do is check the dates, check the percentage win rate, and trade. Simple as, guys. So that's all I have time for today. If you want to get the membership discount, I'll post it in the Telegram group. I think the code should be 30% off some 30% off trade, but I'll post it in the Telegram group anyway, so you guys can capitalize on it. So if you have any questions, just post it back, put it at me in Telegram, and I would answer that for you. So take care of yourself, guys. Have a lovely week to come, and play with the metaverse, guys. Play with it. Look for information that's going to help you grow. All right. Take care of yourself. God bless you all. Thank you, Cecilia. Take care, guys. Bye.